know, Harry, over here at the Jägermeister Workbench, every week we talk about rigs and techniques, and in Florida we can catch a bass just about anywhere. Typically we're going to start off by trying to catch one on a shiner, so let's talk about a shiner rig, probably the most popular way to catch one.
Well, definitely, there's nothing better than a live bait, Rick, you know that. Whoops, sorry about that. But what you're going to want to do is obviously have a good fresh live shiner, offset hook, circle hook, which is great, a light leader, and then you'll go to a little double split shot. That'll get it down deep in some of those rock piles that are on the bottom to get it down there, and just nothing but like a 3-foot leader, and just cast that out and hang on. You know, it doesn't take much for a shiner to get hit. They just love a good shiner.
Now I guess that would be the way we'd want to fish if we were in a deep canal or obviously in a deep lake. But like a Lake Okeechobee, you got reeds and you got hydrilla and you got lily pads. So would we do anything different on the shiner rig?
Obviously, it depends on here. Some guys will put a float on it and cast it around so they can watch to see where the bait's working and stuff like that. But if you wanted to get a little deeper, you take the float off and use your split shots. Now,
Florida certainly is one of the #1 lakes in the country, if not #1. So there's a lot of artificial interest or a lot of tournaments held here. So Harry,
oh man,
tell me about some of the plugs we'd want to use.
The selections that you have, obviously, I mean, you've got your deep running Rapalas that are just off the chart. Some of these guys here just, and the different styles that they use. Now this one here, this particular color, people love the peacocks with this one right here. Yeah. Storm's come up with a new one that these are all hand painted. I mean, this thing is just,
my gosh,
this thing
that
is
doesn't
sick.
Look like a little bluegill.
Little bluegill brim.
Or brim.
Check out the little baby bass. All handcrafted 3D eyes. I mean, these things are just...
What is this series called by Storm?
It's like a 3D series.
It's called a 3D series.
Yeah, and they're just incredible, great little soft plastic bait. And then you've got all your other Rapalas also.
You got the new scatter wrap.
The scatter wrap, which is off the chart.
With the bill, the crazy erratic action.
Which I've caught fish. You gave me that one last week and everything. I've already caught some fish on that, it swims off the chart. It's pretty cool stuff.
And also, this is another one that I just got. I haven't even had a chance to use it, but this is the BX Minnow, the Balsa Extreme series. And what this does, Harry, is they actually has the balsa inside with a very fine coat of plastic, which allows them to give us all those reflective foils inside.
That'll trigger
obviously
them off.
Be jointed. It wiggles like
makes a little bit of noise.
It probably wiggles like Lauren after Tony won the Indy 500. But we can't go without talking about worms.
Oh,
there's probably been more big bass
caught on a worm.
And I think if we take that offshore theory, if you use a big bait, you're going to catch a big bass.
Right.
I mean, a big fish. And I think that if we would use, this bass worm here is a 7.5-inch watermelon red with a June bug color, but it's got the red glitter in it that Bass Assassin makes. There's so many great baits. The cool part that I like about bass fishing is that a lot of these bass plugs, Harry, and I think you'll agree with me because you're a snook fisherman right there by your store.
Oh, yeah.
You can take the same tackle, the same plugs, and
for sure.
Go do it.
I've caught snook on these things already, the jaguar waputis. I've caught peacocks. I've caught regular bass on everything you have here. Tarpon. I've caught some real nice tarpon right there in that canal.
Yeah.
And they work great.
Now, I want to ask you one question quickly.
I'll make it
when
easy.
you work the lure,
right,
is it different the way you twitch it versus the way you would for a snook or a saltwater fish?
Every lure is different. Anytime you're fishing in different, from current, no current, around your lily pads, rock piles, you want to be able to, a lot of times you'll just cast it, let it sit there, and they'll come up and just stare at it. They'll sit there and look at it, and in a second you move it a little bit, they'll just nail it. So it's just, presentation is huge on any kind of fishing.
Versus in saltwater, you're going to try to take it away from them.
Constantly take it away from them. And your bass will come up and he'll inhale the worm. It's great fishing. And one second they inhale it, it's up to you to strike it.
Well, let me tell you something. We're lucky to have you here filling in for Dave. Thank you so much.